everybody, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded my last video, but as you know, life happens, time flies. I can't believe it's April already. But here I am, and I'm excited to be back. Now today I want to create a birthday card using the Ganache Gateau die set by Spellbinders. And my plan is to actually turn the cake itself into the card base. I've gone ahead and done all my die cutting before so that we don't shake the camera over here. And I want to show you what I've done so far. So this is my cake card base. The way I did that was I scored and folded my piece of cardstock, and then I lined up my die. This is the cake base die, just with this cut line outside the fold so that it wouldn't cut this edge over here. And that way I created my cake card base. Oops. By the way, I like to store my dies or die sets on magnetic sheets, but when these Spellbinders die sets come, the dies are adhered to this kind of plastic sheet. It's a little frosted, and my tip is to keep this plastic sheet. I like to use it to bag windows, for example, when I do little paper villages, little paper houses. It's nice to bag the window openings with this plastic. That's why I always keep that in a safe place for when I want to create something like that. Okay, so here is my die set. I want to create a cream colored cake basically, and actually the cake I'm going to bake for that birthday party, it's my dad's birthday, is going to look kind of similar to this cake card. So here I am, and here I have all my pieces. I put them in this little sorting tray, sorting box, just to have everything in one place. And I want to ink my cardstock, add a little shading with my distress inks. I'm going to do that, but I am going to speed the process up for you and play you some music so that you don't have to watch me do this in real time. And yeah, I'm just going to start. And oh, one other thing I wanted to tell you was that there is this material called Media Grip by Tim Holtz. And when you have skinny die cuts or small die cuts like these, I like to place them on this material to, you see that they just don't want to slide away like they would on the glass. And it's much easier, I think, to blend small die cuts and skinny pieces on a piece of Media Grip like this. And afterwards, when you're done, you can just wipe it off and put it back into storage. So that's what I'm going to work on. And I'm going to start inking, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've inked my cake base, and one thing I forgot to mention is I want to add a little bit of white craft paint, and I'm going to apply it with one of these domed ink blending foams by Tim Holtz. And I want to just dab on some paint with that blending foam to add a little texture, like a dough kind of texture to my cake. And I'm just going to work some paint into this foam. I hope I'm in camera. Yeah, I am. Okay. And you see, just like that. And then I'm just going to pounce a little bit of texture onto my card. Actually, I want to not work on that Media Grip, but rather on a piece of paper. And I do have a little bit of dust in my paint. Just gonna try to get rid of that before it dries. Okay, and just like that, I'm going to pound some paint on, and then I'll continue my inking, and then I'll be back. So on my cake card base, my paint is now dry. I've hit it with a heat tool just to make sure it's really, really dry. And now I am going to add some of the ink back that I've lost due to the paint. Let me think, what colors did I use? I think it was scattered straw as well, and then a bit of wild honey just on the very edges. So I'm carefully going to blend this back in. For now, all my inking is done, but I still have these pieces for the macarons that are on top of the cake over here and down here, and I actually want to heat emboss those with embossing glaze because it's going to be a cake with it's not eggnog, it's like advocat, you would call it, so egg liquor basically, and it's gonna be with chocolate Easter eggs on top. Of course, I don't have Easter egg dies, at least not with this die set, but I still want to create the illusion of chocolate, so I'm going to heat emboss these macarons to make them nice and shiny. I'm going to use Distress Embossing Glaze for that. So on the dark one, I'm going to use the walnut stain, and on the lighter one, I'm going to use the vintage photo. I am, going to apply the Distress Embossing pen to the parts and pieces that I want shiny and heat emboss them, and then I'll be right back. So all my embossing is done. These look like almost like chocolate. They're nice and shiny now. And for these pieces, I just needed to emboss the bottom edge because the rest is going to be covered up by the cream filling of these macarons. I'm actually going to start assembling those. So for the dark ones, for the milk chocolate ones, I have this color of filling. And for the dark ones, I chose the yellow with the pink. So these fillings over here. And I'm gonna assemble those with some tacky glue. Now this is the base, and we're gonna work from the bottom edge up. So, and these pieces are so small, you really don't want to use a lot of glue. Now they have little lines in there to show you where your next piece should go, but I kind of covered those up with the embossing powder. So just assemble those, and it's easy actually when once you've done all your inking or embellishing, whatever you want to do, and then you just put everything together like in an assembly line. Now this one, and the pink, I can actually see the embossed line, so it's nice or easy to line up. and get the cover. And by the way, I did 2 layers of embossing glaze to make them really shiny, because otherwise embossing glaze gives you a kind of dented look. And I really wanted them to be super shiny, so embossing twice with the embossing glaze really helps with that. And actually that does look Eastery to me, like some Easter chocolate. So macaron number 1. Yeah, and as I mentioned before, I want to resemble this cake, the cake that I'm actually baking, and that is one with egg liquor and cream, and yeah, it's going to be decorated with chocolate eggs, as I mentioned before, because Easter is also right around the corner. And yeah, so, and my dad loves the egg liquor. He also loves vanilla, and his favorite color is yellow, so I think that all really fits well together. Sometimes my parents do watch my videos, so now you know what thought I put behind this cake and this card. So for the other macarons, I think I'm going to speed the process up. You've seen how it works. Oops, got a little bit of glue on there. Just wipe it off. Yeah, so I'm going to finish these and then I'll be right back. So this is now the last part of my chocolate macarons, but I just thought if you would change the colors of these layers and maybe add a little something that looks like sesame on top, it could also be a little hamburger. Have your burger patty in the center, then maybe a red layer for ketchup or barbecue sauce, and a green layer for lettuce or salad, and your bun, and you have little burgers for, I don't know, maybe a barbecue or something. That would be cute too, so just to keep in mind. And I do use the Color My Life app to inventory all of my products that I have, and you can add notes, so that is definitely a note I'm gonna add to this product. Use the macaron as burgers. So next I think I'm going to add my egg liquor drip. That's gonna go on top of my cake. And the little drip pieces, I sorted them left to right. I have to still adjust the length, but I want them to match up color-wise with the with the drip over here. So darker on the edges and lighter toward the center. Yeah. One of these will be the longest. It's gonna come right up to the edge, but I really want to snip some pieces off, because actually, you know what? Let me add this piece first, so then I can see how far I want my drips to come down. So just add glue at the top like this, because I don't want anything leaking toward the bottom. And I also want this card to be able to stand up later on, so maybe I have to bend this layer a little bit because it's very round at the bottom. Let's see. A little bit of glue ooze, get rid of that. And I always have, when I'm working on cards like this, I always like to have a piece of non-stick sheet between the layers so that I don't accidentally glue the layers together. That would be bad. So okay, just like that. Yeah, because now this is coming down further than the back. I will later on have to bend this in a right angle to the front, but that's no problem. So next I want to do is I want to add these chocolate cream tufts, and I think they do go like this, every second one. Where's this one gonna go? Like that? Yeah, okay. So adhere those. Just really a little bit of glue. Where's my tweezers? It's easier to place them down in the right spot, like that. And when you have everything prepped, this is so relaxing just to assemble your cake. I mean, this obviously can be any color you want, but since I wanted to match the cake I'm gonna bake, this is my color palette. As you can see here, they have a milk chocolate cake, probably a chocolate drip, and pink macarons, so you can change this up for any occasion. I mean, it could be a white cake for a wedding, or you really have lots of options with die sets like these, which makes them even more fun. Because there's room for so much creativity. Like that. And the last one. And I might even, after the fact, add a photo of my real cake that I'm gonna bake to the end of this video, so that you can see what's gone on in my mind in the process of creating this card. Okay, so bottom is done. Now I need to add, this was actually my nope, this was the one that's gonna come here. And I want to cut it about here. And I'm actually gonna adhere it to this piece already, so I can match up the color the way I like. And of course you could always go back with your blending brush and adjust the color if there's too much of a gap. Just want to push it to the very outside of this drip and make sure it is straight. Oops. Because you can't have it coming off the edge of the cake, obviously. Okay, that looks good. Next one. I think this length is okay. Or do I want it further down? That's too similar, so let's go about this length. Just add a little glue again. That was probably too little. And now I want to make sure that my drips are parallel. And for that I'm going to use the grid of my media mat to help me to get them kind of straight. And I'm just going back and forth and checking to make sure everything fits nicely. I even want to move this one a little bit further up. So get me some more glue. And these lines are really helpful. Probably like this. Next one. That looks good to me. Actually, I can also just go this way. And use the vertical lines. That might make things easier. And just be careful to wipe off your excess glue so that you don't make a mess as you're doing this. This is my next one, I believe. Let's make this one really short. Maybe even shorter. That's good. Like this probably. Like that. Just kind of using my thumb to keep the place where I want to start adding my glue. Or to mark the place, I should say. Move it to make it parallel to the others. Maybe there is an easier way to do this, but because I inked these drips before, I really want to kind of line up these colors. I think, or maybe super short. Let me check on my cake. Do I want the last one to be really long, or maybe I'm not even able to get it in there? No, I think I won't get the last one in. So this one is gonna be really long, which means this one is gonna be super short, like that. Okay, so I need to add a little bit more ink. Get my media grip back, and I did use the fossilized amber before, so just bring it further down. That's a good place to start the glue. Cut off the top. Like that, and the last one. Okay. Looks good. And I'm just gonna press down on all of them. Some glue ooze. I think it looks okay. Now I just want to go back once more and kind of, actually this is the, I try with these blending sticks by Waffle Flower. I like to keep one side lighter and one side for the darker colors or darker shades of one color. So just kind of even the color out on the drips. I think that's all right. Now, this is gonna go on top of my cake. Okay. So add my glue. And all the way down on these strips. So when it's packed into an envelope, nothing comes up. I hope the changing light doesn't somehow blur anything with the camera. Open this up. Okay. This is the most important one. We want it to be right on the edge of the card. And I don't want to press too hard because I don't want any glue oozing out to the sides. piece of paper, lay it in between like that, and now I'm going to just press down with this piece of paper to remove any excess glue. Okay, that looks all right. This is just one of my cutting pads from the Big Shot that I use to sort these little pieces over here. Now I really want to let this dry nicely. So next thing I want to do is I have these little sticks that are there to hold these banners. And for my cake, I'm going to use, I also created a banner that will say happy birthday, and I'm going to use paper straws that are gold and white. And that's why I wanted to mimic that with these little sticks. And to make them a little bit more stable, I am going to put a piece of just white cardstock in the middle. Doorbell, be right back. I'm back. So next I'm going to glue my little, in real life they would be paper straws. So this is the in-between layer to make them more sturdy. Again, just a tiny bit of glue. And just nicely line this up. And since they are gonna be visible from the front and the back, because this card is, or this cake is not on a card base, I want to have pretty paper on both the front and the back. So again, lining it up. And press down. And using liquid glue, I really love to work with paper towels just to catch anything that's not so pretty in the end. This one, next one. Just sandwiching this white piece in between my pretty paper. Like that. Now it should be nice and sturdy. Okay, that's done. Now I have the banner. And Doesn't want to come out. I have these little pearls. And I want to do every other one with the pink. These are cut with double-sided adhesive on the back. Like that. And for these, I have these little gold confetti nuggets. Need 6 of those. And I'm just gonna put a dot of glue on all of these white ones. And just place one of these on each of my glue dots. Trying to center them because they're a little bit smaller. Actually, you know what? Instead of using tweezers for that, I have this quick stick pen, which makes it easy to pick things like that up if you don't have them on your media grip. And oops, making a mess over here. No, it won't pick it up from the media mat. So really a nice idea that would have been super easy if I hadn't used the media grip. Yeah, but it's easier to pick them up with this pen than with the tweezers. And especially to let go of them again on your project. I have this tool and I rarely remember to actually use it, but very practical. This one is a little off center. The others are almost fine. That one's okay. These are okay. That one wants to slide around. Now it's fine. Let that dry. Don't touch it again until it's dry. Okay. What next? We have our macaroons. We have cream. Let me have another look at this. Get rid of some of the dust over here. Just using a paper towel off to the side and dusting it off. I want to start decorating it. I want to add my banner first, but I don't know how high I want it. This looks a little bit too much for me, so maybe this height. And I need to make sure that my little decorations fit. So too far apart would be a problem. So I want one kind of at the top and the other one maybe going down or going, yeah, that's better that way. So I think I'm going to cut them about here. So that's, yeah, let's cut off 1 inch of each of these. Just using my media mat to determine the length. And now again, putting some glue on my little okay. And I want to place one of these here just to see how far apart I can place them. This. Now the glue in front isn't a problem because that's going to be covered up by cream and macarons later on. Just want to make sure there's no glue seeping through at the back over here. Okay, so this one's over here. And the second one. That was also too much glue, I think. Just wipe some of it off and place it here. I think there's really no right or wrong. When you put these down, you don't have to like measure the exact angle, because I think it makes it just look more organic when it's not super, super perfect. Now, just a tiny dot of glue over here and over there. Get my tweezers. Sometimes you just need to use the tweezers because your hands get in the way when you want to place something in exactly the right position. So hold this down for a moment just to make sure it's adhered nicely. And for this one, I want it to go somewhat like that. Too much glue on this one, so just wipe some of it off and angle it like this and press down. Okay, so now I have my cream over here. I have some that is a bit shaded on one side and I have some that is completely clean. And let me see. Kind of need to work around this edge over here. Or do I even need all the cream? One macaron down there is probably cute. I think I'm gonna put it here because here the gap is the widest between the drips. And yeah, I need some cream definitely. Just jar it somewhere. get one that is blended. This glue I've had for quite a while and it is a little thick, but I think with projects like these, that actually helps. Because it just adheres quicker, I think. Maybe lift this one and push this one behind. Like that. Now, let me see where I want these macarons to go. Actually, straighten this one out a bit. And push this one around. Yeah, I want them more straight then. Oops. Okay. This is just like a puzzle now. You can really try to determine where you want your individual pieces to go. Like that. And I probably want this one to be a black one or a dark chocolate one. Let me get one piece of cream in here. Like that. And now I'm going to glue my macarons down, and then I'll see if I need to add more or if we're good like that. Get some hair sticking on this one. Don't want to glue that down. Like that. And this one. Like this. This one down at the bottom. This. Yep, definitely a little bit more cream over here. Or should I use one that's blended? I think a white one at the edge. Slide it in behind this macaron. And this part you could of course also place at the top. Slide this one in behind the macaron here. I'm gonna try if I can move this one up just a little bit. And now place this one in front, and I think I'm done with the cream. cut this one off and hide it behind that macaron. Tweezers. Where are my tweezers? Here, right in front of me. Like that. Oops. Just make sure that the cut edges are hidden behind the macaron. Yeah, I think I should try to get this one in two. Just to close this gap over here. So lift that. Oh, and maybe slide it behind. Oh, no, leave it like that. And we're good to go. So this is my finished card. Just make sure everything will stay in place. Do I want to cover some of this? I only have 3 of these left, but I think I'm going to do that. Just adhere some from the back. I will even, I think, cut a few more just to close these gaps and have it pretty from the inside as well. Yeah, that's better. I might even cut 2 or 3 more to even that out, but I won't do that right now on camera. Maybe even add a macaron inside here. That could be cute as well. I think I'm gonna do that. So, using up all the leftovers, get this one inside here. And I'm even gonna decorate the backs of my little banner. Okay, so, and it will even stand up. That is good, so I don't have to do any funny bends around the bottom edge. Yeah, it's gonna stay. So, this is my birthday card for my dad. I hope he likes it. I hope you did like it too. And if you have any questions, put them down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I hope to see you next time. I hope you had fun. Have a great time and see you. Bye.